Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Ponderables. It's been a while. I've been quite busy, but I tried to make some time out today to record another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about my experience with paying off one's mortgage. By the way, a mortgage is a sum of money that you loan from a bank or that a bank loans you to be able to purchase a house, and then you have a set period or timeline within which to pay back that mortgage, and that is called the amortization time or amortization period. And the bank also charges you a certain interest rate because the banks they are there to make profits, so they want to make money, and they make a lot of money from selling mortgages to people who cannot afford to pay down the house immediately, right? So my first mortgage, we got our first house in Quebec, and that was in the year 2010. It was a semi-detached, it was a newly built house. Things were a bit cheaper, down in Quebec at that time. And, the real estate market is also not as expensive as you have in Ontario. So the mortgage that I got at that particular point was for around $230,000. So that would be enough to buy a condominium in some places in Canada right now, because the real estate market is really, really hot. But it was enough to help us to start out, buying a semi-detached house, a two bedroom and one basement, and was, good enough for my family. We were a small growing family, and it was good enough. So, some people may not have that as a goal to pay down their mortgage quickly, and that is fine. Everybody has a different way of treating these things. But for me as an individual, I hate borrowing. I hate having to pay a loan over a very long period of time. And so that was at the back of my mind when I was borrowing, that I needed to have a plan to pay back quickly, not over 25 years. I wanted to pay back over maybe 5 or 6 years. So the first thing that you need to do, or that I did, was I decided not to buy a house that was more expensive than I could afford based on my salary, right? And so if somebody is planning to be able to pay down their mortgage quickly, you want to ensure that you're not buying something that will not leave you a wiggle room at the end of each month, that you have to be living from hand to mouth. You want to be extremely careful not to overbuy, right? If it's a condominium that you're going to start with, that's a good place to start from. If it's a small place to start from, that's a good place to start from, because at the end of the day, you're not trying to impress anybody. And so the bank was willing to give me a lot more money, but I just wanted to start small and pay down what I had and then go bigger from there, right? So it was around $230,000. I didn't have a lot of money for down payment, but I got a very good rate from the bank. So my mortgage payment, my monthly payment at that point in time was around $800. So, but my salary allowed me to be able to pay the double of that every single month, right? So that I was able to start bringing down the principal as much as possible. So half of the payment, so I was paying around $1,600, $800 was going down to the principal to bring down the principal, and also to help me to avoid paying too much interest at the end of the day, because over the lifetime of your mortgage, you will pay a lot of interest if you keep the mortgage alive over the amortization period. So first things first, don't buy something that is too expensive, that will not allow you some flexibility each month in order to be able to pay back. Number two, have a goal. right? Nothing works without a vision. I was talking to my pastor a few days ago about vision. That vision is absolutely critical and important, because a vision will drive you. A vision will help you to focus your attention on what you want to get. So write it down that it is your vision that you want to pay down this mortgage, and you don't want to be owing for a long time. So I had a vision. And so that vision drove everything that we did within the house. And so we got rid of a lot of things that were not necessary, that were just clogging up our time and expenses. I stopped eating outside. My wife, thank God for her, she's a good cook. So we would, buy our groceries and cook at home. And, I was not buying coffee outside of the house, no money for junk food outside of the house. We cut out, cable TV. That's one way that people get to drain money from your pockets in this part of the world. So we cut out on a lot of things so that we will have enough to be able to, number one, double up our mortgage payments every month. Number two, number three, you want to study very well your mortgage agreement, right? Because although the banks want to make a lot of money, they want you to stay on that mortgage for 25 years so that they can squeeze as much as possible from you. But they also provide a way for you to be able to pay off your mortgage faster. They give you, some prepayment privileges, right? Sometimes they say, well, you can double your payment every month, for instance. So if your regular mortgage is $800, they will say the maximum you can go is $1,600 for a particular month in order to pay off your mortgage faster. Take advantage of those opportunities. Another opportunity is they can allow you, rather than paying monthly, you can be paying your mortgage bi-weekly. So bi-weekly allows you to hit that principal faster and to get that principal down, because the lower the principal amount that you're owing on the mortgage, the less the interest that you will be charged over the lifetime of your mortgage. So take advantage of that. I took advantage of that. I was paying bi-weekly, I was paying double. And also there is a lump sum privilege that allows you to be able to set aside a particular amount of money every year that will go towards your mortgage. And usually that's a certain percentage of the original principal on your mortgage. So find out what that prepayment privilege is for a lump sum payment. So they may say in a year you can pay 10% of your original principal. So for me, my mortgage was around $230,000 initially, and so my prepayment privilege for a lump sum payment was around $23,000. And so I was able to pay that I was getting a bonus from my office. Because of the nature of my work, we get to receive bonuses. So some people have that opportunity. And so when that money comes, don't start thinking of what's the next exotic location we can go to with that money. Use that money, let it go towards the mortgage payment. And so I was doing that. And so I was taking advantage of the bi-weekly payments, the double up your payment option for every single mortgage withdrawal that they make from your bank account. And I was taking advantage of the lump sum payment as well. So before I knew what was happening, within 5 years, I was I was almost done with paying the mortgage. And so what was left was something that I could pay off from my savings, right? So because I had enough wiggle room to be able to do that based on my salary. So it is not as difficult as people think to be able to pay down your mortgage. Just follow a few simple rules, and it's gonna happen for you. If it happened for me, because I was starting out having basically not a lot. but because of the focus and cutting out all of the fats and cutting out, things that are not necessary, not driving a flashy car, just driving a cheap car, and that I had no car payments. I had no other loan except for the mortgage. So, and I was able to focus on it, and with my wife's help, we were able to do what was needed to be able to pay that down. The next, maybe one of these days, I'm going to talk about my second mortgage as well, and how we were able to pay off our second mortgage as well, because that is also possible in this part of the world. If you hold on to a set number of rules, and of course you have to be disciplined, of course you have to be prayerful. Don't forget about God, because there is a God factor in everything that we do, and it's going to work out. So if you're just starting out, I'm just using this to encourage you. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. It may be a large amount of money that you're starting out with. Just don't take more than you can bite. All right. Don't bite more than you can chew. And be focused and have a vision, and study the papers, the contracts very well, the papers you have to sign with the bank. Make sure you ask as many questions as possible, so that you can fulfill your goals and your vision. So one of these days I'm going to talk about how we were able to pay off our second mortgage. But thank you very much for listening and for watching, and God bless you, and hopefully I'll be able to get back to you again sooner than the last time. God bless you. Bye bye.